There's a reason I left these two for last. That is because in a few short days, in a few short weeks, they are going to have the same honor that me and Wei had. Being bonded together in holy matrimony. And why don't we just do them as a group? Because that makes more sense to me. First off, the Awesome Red. One of the best technicians, alongside Bint, alongside Mahler, of all time in SOS. Again, just like Wei, one of the sweetest girls you ever meet. Would never hurt a fly unless you pissed her off. But with Awesome Red, honestly, one of the best people I've had matches with personally, recently in WA and in the past. Much like the guy that is the lucky son of a bitch that has her. But we'll get to him later. Compared to Red, though, it's like comparing ice cream to horse manure. I don't know why the two get together, but again, opposites attract. Then again, so does TNA. I knew that was going to happen. My voice is fucking up right towards the end. I love it. I love it. But like I was saying, compares... I don't know why they're together. It compares ice cream to horse manure, and then again, so is TNA in that same comparison. But with Awesome Red was honestly one of the best opponents I've had in a while. We actually fought in the tournament for the $1 million tag belts, and I think we actually we lost that tournament, but we won the titles in the next SOS Elite show. And again, those matches with her and Wei were always fun, to a certain extent. And some of them get mad at me for saying that, but people are watching that shit. People are probably watching worse shit than that, so be happy. But at the end of the day, one of the best people I've ever faced. Alongside the final guy, and thank God my voice will not survive if there were 10 more. And this guy, honestly, much like Nerd, was probably one of the best opponents I've had in a while. Not because match-wise, because, they can brawl with the best of them. But the mental game. The mental psychology of this business cannot be defined more than a man named Count Zafarok. And honestly, Count was probably one of the more stranger people in SOS, let alone the wrestling world. Honestly, besides Toucher, he's probably one of the more people that freaked me out more times than any other. And honestly, the guy is... Let's just say I'm barely in his good graces, because if I wasn't, lightning would strike my head right now. We wouldn't be here talking about stuff like this. But with Count, honestly, one of the best ones I had in a while. And I mean, the feuds with Nerd and SOS, like the fucking coffin match, to where he actually turned into a fucking ghost. That was unheard of back then. And still isn't. And thank God he's back in his fucking vessel at this point, because Lord knows what he'd be doing in the fucking vents. Speaking of the vents, one of the more creepier things is what you can find in those vents. I remember, one day I was like, why the fuck not? Just go up in the vent, and you see fucking Crummy there. And Crummy's there, and he's a nut job in his own right. And what he has is someone's body. I don't know why, but there was a fucking body in the vents. I don't know why. No wonder it smelled like shit that day. But, Crummy was a fucking nut job anyway. So, he sits down and fucking talks to me about shit, and I'm like, whatever, because I didn't like the guy, but you know what? It was better than looking at a dead body. So at the end, he fucking chops the body up and tosses the head to me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?